everyone. Today's card is the Death card. We experience deaths, they're part of our life cycle, where we go through a season of learning. I feel like those go together. Learning, experience, growing, change, and then ultimately there are letting go and deaths that happen, where we let go of either everything is a double card today. We're letting go of that experience and moving on from it, because that's how we learn. That's how life works. It's through cycles, and change and death and letting go. So, okay, these go like this. All right. So the first ones we have upside down, the Emperor and the Queen of Staves. Anytime cards are upside down, to me, when I'm reading cards, there's a pause, there's a resistance to moving forward on your journey. So with this one, we have the Emperor, which is the authority in your life. Whether it's a boss, a career, your routines, your habits, your authority. There's this pause in it. There's this stopping, and a resistance towards that authority. We also have the Queen of Staves showing up, which, when she's upside down, she represents the harder aspects and traits of fire, which is vengeance, overstimulation, burnout, constant busyness in order to avoidance. Sometimes there's something we need to deal with, and when we're still and quiet is when that comes up for us to deal with. But if you're staying busy all the time, you can kind of shove that down and not have to deal with it. So there's this, the Death card of letting go. You might have asked for something to change in your life. You might have asked for a career change, a location change, a relationship change. There's these different changes that you may have been wanting, daydreaming about, wishing for, hoping for, working towards. And that change is coming. And sometimes we forget that in order for that change and to make room in our lives for that thing, we have to let go of something. There's this resistance to this authority and an avoidant or busyness of burnout. It's almost like the resistance towards taking on that authority and leadership is causing a lot of burnout for you. We have Archangel Gabriel with this one, or it's asking you to write down your thoughts, take time to think about things. This is asking you to, for this Queen of Staves is is keeping you busy and helping you avoid pausing. Your advice here is to stop and take time to think about, communicate, write down. Actually, communicating, you may have talked this through a lot. There's a lot of talking, and a lot of that talking is no longer being helpful to you, because at this point you're just repeating things over and over. Now is when you write down those problems instead and come up with solutions to them. You may realize some of the things aren't as a big of a problem as you're making them out to be. You might find the solutions doing that, and then we can move on and move forward. The next ones we have are the Hierophant and the World. The world's upside down, so there's an ending, a conclusion that you're avoiding. Kind of similar to the energy of the first set of cards. This is an ending to traditions, routines, habits. Once again, these feel related. There's something you're asking and looking towards changing in your life, and you're holding on to your routines and habits and traditions, and it's not letting this conclusion happen. This one says, hello from heaven. This one is from Archangel Azrael. Archangel Azrael is the archangel that deals with when you pass on from this life, but then also when you're dealing with endings and deaths throughout your life. The angel of death. And the message on this one with hello from heaven is saying your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of your worries and feel their loving blessings. This is asking you to pause and let the love of those that have passed on envelop you. It's okay to let go of traditions, routines, habits, things that were a part of your life in maybe a time with this loved one, or it might be just talking about a part of your life that you're moving on from. It's okay to let go of some things that were important to you at that time. Life is about change. There are cycles on this earth. If you look about how the earth changes and moves forward, it's always breaking apart its rocks and transforming the earth, and plants grow and die and fertilize for more plants to grow. The earth doesn't hold on to things like we want to. It lets regeneration happen, whereas we like to keep things the same always, and that's just not how it is in our nature. If you're looking at the natural world, how that works. So letting go of things, whether it's purging things that are not helping you, things that you're holding on to that are no longer necessary, that were once very important. Letting go of those things is what you're being asked to do, And your loved ones are there with you, helping you through this, helping you move on. They understand letting go of material things, habits that they had in life. It's okay, and to let those things go. They understand that. They're helping you through that too. And then the last two is the Three of Staves and the Two of Swords. So this is once again, Three of Staves is going on into a new direction that you haven't explored before, a whole new experience, a whole new world, learning new things. It's usually going from something very structured and set up and moving into a place that you have to kind of rely on your gut and your intuition and be willing to fail in order to learn something new. The Two of Swords with that is saying kind of the answer and direction is right in front of you, but you're really trying to blind yourself to what that is. Not wanting to have to make that decision, you'd rather stay in the stalemate of indecision, which leads you to making the decision to stay stuck. And your guidance card is Nurture with Archangel Gabriel. Once again, Gabriel is really wanting you to... Gabriel is the message bringer, communication, writing. It's really exploring those thoughts in your head that are swirling around. She kind of helps you organize those. And this part of her is talking about nurturing yourself as you would nurture your own inner child. For this, I'm seeing you as a child of kind of Mother Earth, where look to her for those cycles. Also nurturing yourself. You're going through, with the Death card showing up, you're going through a very big change in life. One that's unknown to you. One where you're having to let go of things that you've been tied to. One that it's more appealing to avoid than to think about and deal with. And when those things happen, it might feel like there's not enough time to nurture ourselves, but if you come up with a plan of when you can set aside time for yourself to connect, to feel a little bit more like you're not going in this alone, where you do have the kind of the universe to connect to, you'll be able to make decisions better. You'll be able to see opportunities better. You'll be able to let go of that resistance and move into this new place a lot easier, because you'll be at a higher vibration where you're able to see the solutions. I feel like that's all for today. Let me know how it goes for you, and I'll see you next week.